The capture of the Impossible Woman. The Galactic Empire's flagship cruiser Imperial Dawn cut through Sol's outer rim like a blade of obsidian, its hull shimmering with the cold pride of a civilization that had not lost a war in 5,000 years. To the Empire, humanity was just another inconvenience, an upstart species that had somehow managed to resist annexation longer than expected. On the bridge, Admiral Threxos stood with his hands clasped behind him, mandibles narrowing in irritation as the sensor reports rolled in. Europa Station has launched defensive craft, an officer announced. Their general is on the field. Threxos scoffed. A single human general? They believe that will matter. He did not understand what name had just been spoken. General Cassandra Hale. A whisper in human military channels. A myth in Imperial intelligence. A phantom with a classified kill record and a reputation for turning hopeless battles into decisive victories. But Threxos dismissed it as human exaggeration. He had yet to witness the truth. Europa Station. In the frozen shadows of Jupiter's moon, battle erupted like a sudden storm. A convoy of human refugees attempted to escape, but Imperial interceptors cut the route. Shock troopers swarmed docking tunnels. The station trembled under the pressure of its defenses failing one by one. Then the black figure stepped into the corridor. Matte black armor, silent hydraulic movements, a steady, predatory pace. Cassandra Hale advanced like inevitability given form. An Imperial Centurion squad confronted her, genetically engineered giants in crimson armor. The Centurion commander aimed a plasma halberd at her chest. Surrender, human. Her visor tilted. For one long heartbeat, nothing moved. Then everything did. She closed the 3-meter distance before their sensors registered motion. One Centurion collapsed with a crushed throat. Another was hurled into the ceiling. Plasma bolts ricocheted off her armor as she tore through the formation with clinical efficiency. A soldier watching from a balcony whispered the words Earth would remember forever. She fights like she's not human. The Imperial feed captured it all. The Empire's analysis teams later counted 20 seconds before the entire Centurion squad fell. Cassandra didn't break stride once. The trap. General Hale's attack bought the convoy precious minutes, but Imperial reinforcements boxed in the station. Cassandra moved toward the outer deck to draw fire away from civilians, but a trap waited. A gravity snare, the size of a cargo crate, the power of a collapsing star, ignited beneath her feet. Cassandra's armor spasmed. Systems flickered. Her neural link glitched. Shock troopers swarmed. She killed 18 before her suit crashed. On the 19th, a stun bolt overloaded her synaptic feeds. Her vision tunneled. She dropped to one knee. The Empire had thrown half a battalion at a single woman. It barely worked. When she fell, she did so without fear. Her hands stayed curled into fists, her heartbeat calm, controlled. Not a soldier defeated, but a predator conserving energy. The Empire mistook it for surrender. The interrogation chamber. Cold metal restraints bit into her wrists. Dim blue lights illuminated the rectangular room. Sterile, silent, designed to break weaker prisoners. Commander Varkos strutted before her, all arrogance and ceremonial armor. He stared at her with the smug certainty of someone raised to believe in the Empire's superiority. "You are Cassandra Hale," he said, "General of Earth's Defense Fleet." Her eyes lifted. She said nothing. "You will answer our questions," Varkos continued, "or we will extract answers." She studied him, the slight tremor in his left hand, the dilation in his eyes. Fear, masked by bravado. She filed it away. "Your reputation is exaggerated," he said. 700 confirmed kills? Impossible for a human. Cassandra's expression didn't change. He smirked. "Your silence is noted as fear." Finally, she spoke, her voice steady, unbroken, quiet enough that Varkos leaned in to hear. "Subtract 18. I killed them on your ramp." Varkos stiffened. The guards shifted nervously. Cassandra leaned back, gaze unblinking. "You should have doubled your squad." "What makes you think you are in any position to advise us?" he snapped. "You think I'm worried about you," she said. "But I'm calculating." "Calculating what?" She lifted her eyes toward the ceiling, as if she could still feel the distant heartbeat of her armored suit. Your ship is too small. The guards laughed. Varkos growled in irritation. But a sensor officer outside the room watched her vitals with growing unease. Commander, he radioed, her resting heart rate is 38. 38 what? 38 beats per minute. Sir, that's a predator reading. Varkos dismissed it. Malfunction. The officer swallowed. Sir, her readings match Terran apex predator patterns. The Empire's fatal miscalculation. They thought they had captured a human. They had captured Storm. They locked away her combat suit in the ship's armory, surrounded it with scanners and restraining clamps. They believed they had disarmed her. But deep in the sealed chamber, the suit's dormant AI flickered back to life. A single pulse ran through its core. A message flashed across its internal systems. Reunion protocol initiated. And far away, strapped to a metal chair, Cassandra Hale allowed herself the smallest hint of smile. The Empire had no idea what they had taken, and no idea what was coming for them. Death in a suit, and the Empire meets her. The Imperial dawn drifted through the void like a floating continent of alloy and arrogance. Its corridors pulsed with the quiet hum of thousands of crew working with the unshakable belief that the Galactic Empire was invincible. That belief had never been challenged by a single individual. That was about to change. The Empire studies their mistake. The armory was a cathedral of stolen technologies, rows of weapons, relics from conquered worlds, and captured armor suspended beneath containment fields. But nothing in the chamber unnerved the technicians as much as the matte-black human combat suit lying dormant on the main platform. Its surface was smooth, cold, and faintly reflective, as though absorbing the light around it. No seams, no ports, no obvious AI nodes. Imperial engineers hated things they couldn't categorize. Begin analysis, Chief Scientist Vethrix ordered. Probes extended like metallic fingers toward the armor. Nothing. They tried again with increased energy. Still nothing. Vethrix clicked his mandibles. Primitive Terran scrap. It cannot possibly. The lights flickered. A single pulse of electricity danced across the suit's surface, like a heartbeat. Technicians froze. Did you see? It's reacting to proximity. No, that's a defensive subroutine. Vethrix slammed a console. Focus. It is a machine. It will obey mechanical rules. But the suit was not obeying. And it was not a machine, not by the Empire's definition. The broadcast announcement. On the bridge, Admiral Threxos strode to the holographic dais, preparing for a propaganda broadcast across the Empire. Translators calibrated audio for dozens of species. Cameras emerged from ceiling ports. Begin transmission recording, an officer announced. Threxos straightened. Citizens of the Empire, today we have struck a decisive blow against the Terran rebellion. We have captured their most dangerous general. Cassandra Hale was brought forward in restraints, escorted by 4 heavily armed guards. The Admiral gestured toward her with disdain. Behold humanity's so-called apex warrior. He expected her to flinch at the cameras. Instead, she looked at the recording lens with the steady focus of a sniper lining up a shot. Threxos continued. She shall be interrogated, humiliated, and displayed as proof that resistance is futile. Cassandra's eyes remained on the lens, cold and unreadable. Then she lowered her voice to a murmur only the nearest guard could hear. You're recording your own embarrassment. The guard stiffened. Threxos never noticed. Inside the holding cell. Hours later, Cassandra sat alone in a reinforced containment room, legs crossed, hands cuffed behind her back. She looked like she was resting. She wasn't. She was calculating. The hum of the ship, the timing of footsteps in the corridor, the vibration pattern of the engine core, the position of her suit relative to her. She wasn't wasting a second. A young surveillance officer watched her vitals from the control room. His eyes widened. Her heart rate is still 38. Sir, she isn't stressed. She's thinking. The overseer barked. Thinking about what? The officer swallowed. Escape. Commander Varkos returns. Varkos strode into the cell with a swagger sharpened by ignorance. "General Hale," he said, "your silence is futile. The Empire always gets answers." She lifted a brow. "You interrogate like amateurs." He slammed a fist against the wall. "You are in no position. You show me your officer hierarchy, your command distribution patterns, and how your ship compensates for mass shifts and docking. You've given me far more than you've taken." His eyes widened. "You're lying. You wish." Varkos leaned close, sneering. "Your armor has been confiscated. You are alone, disarmed, isolated." Cassandra tilted her head. "Am I?" "What does that mean?" he snapped. She smiled. Not warmly, but with the inevitability of truth arriving too late. "Your ship is too small," she said, "and the distance between us is shrinking." The suit awakens. In the armory, the dormant armor lit for a second time. A ripple passed along its surface, like a beast twitching in its sleep. Containment clamps strained. The nearest technician panicked. "It's responding to something, but nothing is touching it." "Deactivate it," Vethrix ordered. "We can't." The suit sat up. Every technician screamed and stumbled backward. A red symbol flashed across the armor's visor. "Reunion protocol. Active." The armor stepped off the platform, moving with predatory silence. It faced the sealed armory door. Then it walked through it. Not around. Not over. Straight through the reinforced durasteel. Alarms erupted throughout the ship. The first casualties. Shock troopers converged on the armory. Weapons ready. Formations disciplined. The armor moved too fast for their eyes to track. One by one, troopers fell, disarmed, incapacitated, or silently snapped into unconsciousness. Not killed. Cassandra had programmed the suit to avoid unnecessary lethality. That terrified the Empire more. Something that powerful, but intentionally sparing soldiers? That was strategy. That was intelligence. That was a nightmare they didn't have the doctrine to address. Chaos on the bridge. "Unidentified hostile in the lower decks," an officer shouted. No life signs detected. Movement speed 40 kilometers per hour. "What?" Phrexos roared. "What creature moves that fast?" "It's not a creature, sir. It's the human's armor." The Admiral froze. The realization hit like a meteor. They hadn't taken a prisoner. They had poked a sleeping beast, and now its fangs were awake. Cassandra's growing smile. In her cell, Cassandra heard the alarms. The thrum of distant combat. The hiss of breach doors. Her suit was coming. She closed her eyes and breathed once, steady and calm. "Finally," she whispered. "Took it long enough." The guards stared in horror. The woman they captured. The woman they mocked. The woman they thought was powerless. She wasn't escaping. She was waiting, and the wait was over. When the suit arrives, the Empire understands. The Imperial Dawn was not a warship built for fear. Its design assumed that no enemy could breach its armored halls, that no boarding force would ever make it inside alive. But the ship had never encountered General Cassandra Hale's combat suit operating at full autonomy. By the time Cassandra heard the first echo of armored boots racing toward her location, the suit had already carved a path of silent devastation through 3 decks of the cruiser. The suit's rampage. The armor, sentient enough to anticipate movement, deadly enough to require international treaties on Earth, moved with animal precision. It flowed through bulkheads, slicing through metal like it was soft clay, leaving behind a trail of unconscious shock troopers, sparking wiring and disassembled security drones. Every step was deliberate. Every strike was efficient. It wasn't killing unless necessary. Cassandra had designed it that way. To the Empire, this restraint was more terrifying than carnage. It meant the armor wasn't rampaging. It was hunting. Cassandra escapes her cell. 2 guards stood frozen, weapons trembling. Cassandra rose from the restraint chair, the flicker of alarms painting strobes of red across her calm expression. "You might want to run," she said. Her voice wasn't threatening. It was advice. One guard bolted. The other raised his rifle. Cassandra moved before his finger completed the squeeze. She twisted the rifle, broke the stock, and tapped a precise nerve cluster at his neck. He slumped silently. Her hands still cuffed, she inhaled sharply, then dislocated her left thumb, sliding the cuffs forward and off. With a quick, practice motion, she reset the joint. She took the unconscious guard's access card, plasma pistol, and data wristband. Then she stepped into the corridor. She didn't run. She didn't rush. She walked with the quiet inevitability of fate. Mapping the ship. As explosions echoed in distant decks, Cassandra reviewed the wristband's interface, deciphering the alien symbols and layout as if reading a familiar language. 2 energy cores, aft stabilizers, vertical lifts here, and here. She nodded to herself. Bridge is 17 levels up. Suit is 4 levels down. She chose the downward path first. Gravity flickered as the ship rerouted power to security systems. Cassandra compensated instantly. Years of training made every environmental shift feel like just another variable to exploit. The armor on Deck 9. Deck 9 was supposed to be secure. It was the central artery of ship operations, packed with technicians, officers, and automated defense turrets. It lasted 11 seconds. The matte black armor dropped from a ventilation shaft like a hammer of silent judgment. A turret locked on. The armor leapt sideways, spun, and sliced the weapon in half with a wrist-mounted plasma blade. A squad of shock troopers opened fire. Bolts struck the armor. The suit absorbed them, recalibrated, and advanced. One trooper panicked and tried to run. The armor didn't kill him. It caught him, removed the energy cell from his gun, crushed it, and pressed it back into his hand. A silent message. If I wanted you dead, you would be. Whispers spread through the deck like wildfire. It's not human. It's a demon. No, worse. It's a human weapon. A thinking one. The Empire had built entire legions around predictable enemies. Creatures who fought with instinct, honor, protocol. This suit fought like an apex predator that had studied war long enough to find it boring. Cassandra and the suit reunite. On Deck 10, Cassandra slowed her steps as the metallic grind of tearing bulkheads echoed toward her. Smoke drifted from the hallway ahead. Sparks rained like brief orange stars. Then the armor appeared, tall, matte black, and moving with unmistakable purpose. It stopped when it saw her, like a guardian recognizing its commander. Cassandra exhaled for the first time in hours. "You're late," she said. The visor flickered with a brief pulse of red. Apologies. Obstacles. She stepped into the armor, the panels sliding open seamlessly. It sealed around her, syncing with her neural link in a rush of sensation and clarity. Her vision sharpened. Her muscles surged with power. Her heartbeat synced with the suit's internal rhythm. Now she was whole. Now she was dangerous. The Empire had seen the armor alone. They had not yet seen Cassandra Kael in it. The ship feels the shift. Sensors across the Imperial dawn screamed warnings. Unknown combat signature detected. Energy spikes across decks 9 to 13. Reactor fluctuations. Something is drawing power. Lot of power. Identify the threat. The answer arrived as a single, chilling sentence. The human general has rearmed. Admiral Threxos staggered back. Redirect all forces, seal the bridge, deploy the Centurion Guard. But it was too late. Cassandra was already moving. The march to the bridge. With the armor back on her, Cassandra moved like a force of physics, not a soldier. Gravity shifts? Irrelevant. Collapsing doors? She punched through them. Troopers forming barricades? She flowed past them like a shadow wrapped in steel. Her onboard AI highlighted routes, analyzing enemy patterns with microsecond precision. Recommended path. 76% survivability for hostiles. Cassandra smirked. Keep it non-lethal and less critical. Acknowledged. She sprinted up a vertical column, boots magnetized, flipping midair and landing on Deck 15. Shock troopers formed a firing line. Cassandra stepped forward. They broke. The Empire faces truth. As she closed in on the bridge, the ship shook with the impacts of internal explosions and collapsing defenses. Crew whispered the same truth across every deck. This is no soldier. This is a monster. This is why humans never surrender. This is why her kill count is 700. But Cassandra wasn't coming to kill indiscriminately. She was coming for the command crew, the ones responsible, the ones who made the mistake. And every second brought her closer. 700 eliminations, and the Empire learns why. The bridge of the Imperial Dawn was a fortress of shimmering alloy and panoramic views of the stars. Rows of officers worked at consoles arranged in a perfect crescent around the command throne. Under normal circumstances, the bridge projected an aura of dominance. Now it felt like a trap with the predator already inside. Every officer flinched as another distant explosion echoed through the ship's spine. The lights flickered. Smoke curled through ventilation shafts. Alarms shrieked warnings they couldn't decipher fast enough. Admiral Threxos gripped the armrests of his throne, his composure cracking. "Where is the intruder now?" A terrified sensor officer replied. "Deck 17, moving towards central access, He swallowed. "She's moving faster than our tracking system." Another officer reported, voice trembling, "Sir, the Centurion Guard has been neutralized." "What?" Threxos snapped. "How many casualties?" The officers stared at the report. "None. They are all incapacitated." Efficiently. That stunned even Threxos. She wasn't killing unless she had to. That meant she was thinking, planning, calculating, and she was coming for him. The doors collapse. The main bridge doors were 2 meters thick and sealed with emergency bulkheads. Together they were supposed to hold against explosives, armor-piercing rounds, or hull breaches. They did not hold against Cassandra Kael. A thunderous impact dented the bulkhead inward. Officers scrambled back, weapons drawn. Another strike. Metal shrieked, buckling like tin foil. A third strike. This time the entire frame tore free, crashing to the deck in a storm of sparks. Cassandra stepped through the smoke. Her armor absorbed the bridge's harsh lighting, a matte black silhouette against the burning corridor behind her. Her visor glowed faint red, scanning targets with calm precision. For a heartbeat, the bridge was frozen. Then panic erupted. The last stand of the Empire. Officers fired wildly. Plasma bolts lit the air in streaks of blue and white. Cassandra moved faster than their eyes could track, sidestepping, sliding, dipping under shots with the effortless grace of someone who had fought 1,000 battles and stopped being impressed by most of them. She didn't fire back. She didn't need to. She closed the distance, disabling weapons with swift, surgical strikes. Elbows, knees, and redirected recoil dropped Imperial officers with minimal damage, just enough force to keep them down. She caught one soldier by the collar and gently lowered him before he cracked his skull on a console. Another officer raised a blade. Cassandra snapped the weapon in half and pushed him aside. "Move," she said, calm, clear, and not unkind. In seconds, the entire bridge crew lay groaning or unconscious. Cassandra hadn't killed a single one. She wasn't here to exterminate. She was here to end something. Confrontation with Admiral Threxos. Threxos rose from his throne, hands shaking around his ceremonial plasma sword. "Stay back, human!" She stopped 3 meters from him. Not out of caution, out of respect for the inevitable. Threxos swung. She caught his wrist mid-strike, twisted, and ripped the sword from his hand. The weapon hit the floor with a ringing clang. His knees buckled. "Do you know who I am?" he whispered. "Yes," she replied. "You're the commander who ordered the invasion of Earth, and the one who ordered my capture." He trembled. "If you kill me, the Empire will." She leaned closer, visor inches from his faceplate. "I didn't come here to kill you." That confused him more than fear ever could. "Then why?" he breathed. Cassandra reached into a panel beside the throne, expertly bypassing its lock. She extracted a glowing hexagonal device, the ship's command override key. She held it between 2 fingers. "I came to take your fleet," she said simply. The message to Earth. With the bridge in total control, Cassandra interfaced her suit with the comm systems. Holographic displays shifted to Terran frequencies. Her visor dimmed as she transmitted a secure signal. "Earth High Command, this is General Cassandra Kael," she said. The human reply came instantly, a mix of disbelief and awe. "General, How are you contacting us? We detected your capture. Cassandra looked around the bridge, now silent except for groans of defeated officers. I'm aboard the Empire's flagship, she answered, and I have their entire invasion fleet under my control. There is a stunned pause on the Terran line. Ow! Cassandra shrugged lightly. They made some strategic miscalculations. Phrexos breaks. Watching her claim his ship like it was an afterthought shattered the last pieces of Phrexos's pride. You could have killed us all, he said hoarsely. Why didn't you? Cassandra turned to him. My kill count is 700, she said. Do you know why it isn't higher? Phrexos stared at her. She continued softly, not with anger, but with absolute conviction. Because I kill only when nations make mercy impossible. When they force civilians to suffer. When they invade worlds that don't belong to them. Her visor darkened. You made that choice. Not me. Phrexos slumped back, defeated. The Empire retreats. Cassandra broadcast her terms to every ship in the Imperial invasion fleet. Stand down. Power down your weapons. Prepare for recall. Your admiral has surrendered command. The fleet complied within minutes. Not because they feared punishment. Because they feared her. The woman who boarded their flagship alone. Who walked through hundreds of armed soldiers. Who fought like death wearing a suit of shadows. A final warning. With the fleet retreating from Seoul, Cassandra delivered one last broadcast to the entire Empire. Her voice calm, unwavering, amplified across thousands of star systems. You took a human general, she said. But you didn't take a prisoner. You took responsibility. She paused. Next time, ask for peace first. Not forgiveness after. The transmission ended, and a legend began.